Yo, what is up, guys? What is poppin'? We are here with NPL Season 6. Not the regular season yet, but what we do in the NPL, because we draft like always a month or two before the regular season starts, we do, like, if people want to do it, we do some preseason games just to get like comfortable with our squads, just to have some fun before the actual season starts, which always is a slugfest. So we're trying to bring some fun stuff to like get ready for the regular season. And this time I got three preseason matches scheduled against my boy Trevi, against um, Aaron, and against Eric, last season's champion. So we got a nice finals rematch in the preseason. Um, those guys aren't on my regular season schedule, and they are in the opposing conference, so it's very unlikely that we will face them at all, because the only chance that we play them is in finals, and usually in finals squads are different because of some drops that people made, and you'd never bring like a too serious squad to a preseason match. So we try and have some fun, and in the first week of the preseason we faced my boy Trevi, the commissioner, um, longtime friend of ours, longtime rival, solid player for sure, but he struggled a little last season and he got rewarded with the first pick because of that. We do some kind of lottery, as I mentioned in my draft recap, where like the worst team from the season ago has the best odds to get the first pick, and he actually did, and he picked Celestiva, which, as you see, also brings Heracross, Heatran, Mega Altaria, Gabite, which is pretty hot, and Roserade to his battle. He also had a Mana Fee on his team, which fucks my entire squad pretty much. So I had to be ready for that, and yeah, I decided to bring a squad with nice Restock, Psywave, Toxic, Bronzong, um, Quiver Roost, Giga Drain, Flamethrower, a Volcarona with the Pacho Berry, um, Fat Fat Dragentail Kyurem with Ice Beam, Earth Power, and Roost. Dragentail obviously to get rid of a +3 mana fee. I'd shoot any +3 hit, even like a Z Hydrovortex or something, um, fairly easily because I'm so fat, and I can just Dragentail that out. We got a nice Tapu Fini with Defog, pretty standard. Moonblast, I think Nature's Madness, and Taunt. Got a nice Gravity, Sword Stance, Earthquake, Landorus T, which is also our rocker, so Mono Earthquake versus a team with only one flying type, which actually gets pretty much bopped by Earthquake after the Gravity is set up, so it's pretty clean. It only has like one resist to ground, and Heracross doesn't take attack rage, which I'm actually packing well, so that's kind of clean. And we got a Shaman here, Leech Seed Synthesis, Seed Plant, Earth Power. Game plan is pretty much pressure Heatran and Mega Altaria with my squad, so that Volcarona can sweep in the late game. Gabite is a nice bring on his part because it checks Volcarona fairly well, as well as Landorus T. Easily choose like a Skystruck or something from Lando if it's Fizz Death. So pretty solid bring, and can like Toxic, can set up rocks, and because he brought Gabite, I felt like this Heatran was more likely either for attacking Scarf set or something, or like a really fat variant without rocks with like Toxic Protect or something, maybe with Stone Edge to deal with the Volcarona. So we gotta see how that works. But I decided to lead off with my Kyurem. It has an amazing matchup versus everything on his team. I can just Ice Beam versus the Celestia if he wants to lead off with it, because Heavy Slam doesn't do much because Kyurem is very heavy, which is cool. And I can pressure out Altaria. I can Bob Heatran early, or like get like 70% off on it. I can identify a Scarf potentially. Versus Heracross, I can just go to Fini or Lando, pressure that with those two, and go from there. So I decided to lead with Lando, he leads Altaria, which gives me a free Ice Beam turn 1. Even if he stays in, I'd shoot a Hyper Voice, even from modest Altaria. And Heatran here, he takes 10. It needs to be like slightly invested in HP. It doesn't look like max HP, which is good to know. So my suspicions that this could be Scarf are still there, but I decided to still click Earth Power because I live a Flash Cannon. If I get the Earth Power off on Heatran, my Volcarona is pretty much guaranteed to win. So that's clean. Heracross comes in, and this reveals, like with the crit I do 12%, this reveals to be an Assault with Heracross, which is very good to know. I go to my Lando here on a potential CC, but Trevor pulls another switch, so nice triple switch to, no, double switch to, no, it's a triple switch, yeah, to start the game. And he goes into this thing as I just click gravity to force it out pretty much, or threaten it. As he goes for leech, doesn't matter to me. I can just stealth rock here, get him up as he goes to bite. Fair play, choose an earthquake really well. And I can just go into my Shaman as he gets up his rocks. So I go back into Lando, predicting him to go into like pretty much every mon, and Lando can just push him out. But he goes for the raw on the Shaman. So had I attacked it here, that would have been great for my Vulcan, my Lando. But he gets me out into my Curum, and I predict him to switch out into Hera, go for the Dragon Tail to really chip it down. Like Hera now being at 50 or 38 on entry. It's pretty nice. And he goes into Altaria here on the Dragon Tail, or I get him into Altaria. And I would just click Ice Beam here because I know I can potentially knock it out if it's offensive. I'm speedy, so he can't really do much, but he gets frozen, so I decide, yeah, like, let me be a nice guy. I just spam Dragon Tail and let him click the Hyper Voice. Ask him what he clicked, and yeah, he said Hyper Voice was his play, so I decide to just click the Dragon Tail here until he thaws out. Takes a couple of turns, I think, but it's not the end of the world. So I think this the turn where he thaws out. Yeah, it is. So he gets 73 off. Like I would have been slightly lower, but he got a like decently high roll here with the Hyper Voice, so that's not too big of a deal. I go for the Ice Beam as he switches into Cellar, preserving his Altaria here, and I go for the Roost, predicting him to like go for the Leech. As he does, so my Curab is back in a nice amount of health, putting in quite some work here versus his team. I can go into my Shaman now as he makes a nice call and goes for the Flamethrower here, predicting me to go hard into Shaman. And with the burn, like kind of a tough spot. I'm Yachiberry Shaman for like for Manaphy, so like can't really negate the burn, so I have to switch out sooner or later. He goes for Leech Seed on my synthesis, predicting me to switch out, I guess, but now I go for the Leech Seed, hoping he would stay in, so I can potentially 1v1 this Celesteela. But he goes into Roserade, I go into my Zonga as he makes a nice count. Instead of going for the Slash One, goes for the HP Fire. That's the Ignition boosted crit, I'm guaranteed 2-hit KO anyway, or like probably a 2-hit KO anyway, and I have to sack my Bronzong here. It didn't serve too much of a purpose, so I figured like getting sacking Bronzong is too big of a deal. I can go into my Curum now and just fire off an Ice Beam here, seeing if he is Scarf or not. I don't know if he's Scarf because he didn't click an attack, but he sacks his Altari, which was definitely his play. Doesn't roost up on anything on my team, so now Hera comes in. I will go into my Finny, trying to get a defog off. So he goes for the close comment, and he actually crits me, which is kind of annoying because now 5 hits if he packs the Bullet Seed will knock me out. But I still have to go for the defog here, hoping that he doesn't have the Bullet Seed or doesn't get 5 hits. He goes for the Bullet Seed, gets 1, gets 2, gets 3, gets 4, but doesn't get the 5th hit, so I get the defog off. 4 hits here is fair because he crits a close comment, otherwise I would have been out of range of the Bullet Seed anyway, so I can just preserve my Finny here on the switch into Lando, trying to like get an Intimidate off. He's forced out because he has HP Fire, which he revealed earlier. He can't pack the HP Ice, and if he's like not Scarf, I live a Giga Drain, or like I knock him out before I click Giga Drain, before he can click Giga Drain. So did he have, in case he had Giga Drain, let's say it that way, he should have clicked it here if he was Scarf, but he switches out into Gebite. I get a crit with the Earthquake, which it's kind of annoying for him, but Earthquake into Tech Rage wasn't a KO anyway, most of the time, depending on rolls, but I bopped this thing here, now I prevent rocks pretty much, which is really huge. He goes into Cellar, as I go for the rocks here, wanting them up to chip down Hera and Heatran. So he packs the HPIs with the Celesteela, but Lando did its job, it bopped the Gebite, and it kept up rocks, which is pretty nice. So I can go into my Vault and pull a nice double, predicting the Heatran to come in into my Curum, and knowing that I can pressure it with the Earth Power. So that's exactly what I do. I don't allow him to get any attack off, and I chip him down a little bit more. He doesn't have the lefty, so this like very well could be a Scarf Train or maybe even an Assault Vest variant of some sort or something. Not sure yet, but he goes into Roserade on the Earth Power, and on this turn he actually reveals to be Scarf. So in case he packed the Giga Drain, he definitely should have attacked my Lando, but he probably wasn't sure what my investment was if he was killing my Lando there. But now he reveals to be Scarf and goes for the Sludge Bomb. Does 45, but he gets the poison, which is kind of annoying, but not the end of the world. I can just pop it with the Ice Beam. Kyurem, I designed it to be faster than Roserade, but as you see, he was Scarf, so not a not too great for me. But he goes into Heracross, and I'm like, yeah, kill this. Like, what do you go into this? Like, Ice Beam even to assault with Heracross was a guaranteed kill from this range. It does like 22 to 27 or something. So gets a nice kill here. Goes into Cellar as I decide to switch out into my Shaman on the Flamethrower. Trying to get a leech sheet off here, but I miss, which is unfortunate. He just flamethrowers again. And now I'm going hard into going hard into Volk as he actually pulls the switch out into Heatran. So works out quite nicely for him, but I get some more chip off. I sack my Finny here, it's pretty much useless. Goes for the 5 plus, and now he reveals his item. He's live of Heatran, which means if he's like, even if he's like, like if he's not a Ancient Power or Stone Edge variant, my Volk actually beats it 1 versus 1. Oh. And like, yeah, it was an interesting bring. Afterwards, he told me it didn't have Ancient Power or Stone Edge, but figured Life of Fire Blast would be enough to bop Volcarona, which he's right with. But if he comes in and I have the +1 on him, then that's not true. So good to notice that Volcarona pretty much always won this game. Now Shaman comes in, I just go for the Earth Power as he stays in, trying to catch me on the Synthesis probably, and now this game is over because I can just sack my Shaman here on the Celesteela and go hard into Volcarona after that, and click Flamethrower to win the game. So very solid, very fun first match of the preseason. Squad functioned really well. I'm still trying to get used to it because like the squad, unlike a lot of my other drafts, it doesn't have a lot of instant recovery, of reliable recovery. I have to bank on some stuff like lefties a lot and rest talk on bronze and shit like that. It's definitely like kind of out of my comfort zone, but I felt like I used it pretty well in this matchup, preserving health on the most crucial members of the team and finishing off the match. So GG to my boy Trevi, and let's hop into the second game. Versus Aaron 2420, very good guy, cool kid for sure. Long time member of the NPL for now. He's also in the GBAD league, I think. But yeah, he's a super threatening squad. He has the Charizard X, Primarina, the Landorus Eye, Sheer Force ability. He has Zera Aura, which is a hot mon. Lycanroc does. Like, he has so many threats. Like, this prep really was a drag, but I felt like I did my best, the best I could. Just like a Rock Polish Lando with Z-Fly, Stealth Rock, and Earthquake. Can really go inverse what he brought if I weaken the Prim a little bit and if I keep Rocks up. With Rocks up, +2 speed Lando actually wins 100%. Maybe I have to get some chip on the Delmice, but after that, I should be good to go. Like I either have to get chip on the Delmice or the Landorus because I can't bob one from full with the Sky Strike, but not the other with the Fly afterwards. So I have to remove or weaken one of them first before I can go for the win, or like can just use it as a mid-game breaker for or something like that. So that could be nice. Seismitoad is an AV variant with Poison Jab, Knockoff, Earthquake, and I think Waterfall, Ice Punch, yeah, Ice Punch for the Landorus. Pretty decent versus Zera Aura and Primarina. He won't click Hydro Pump with Primarina without knowing what kind of ability I have, so that's nice to have. Like, I could pretty much force him to go for Moonblast and go from there, but still, it's a big gamble. I have to bring both of my ground seals to make sure that Zera Aura doesn't sweep me potentially with like Scarf T-Bot or something. But Zera Aura is one of those electrics that actually get access to Grass Knot. So Grass Knot HPI's T-Bolt Fire Punch hits my entire team, bar Kyurem, but if he packs like close combat over Fire Punch, he bobs that, but doesn't bob Scissor. But T-Bolt, Life of T-Bolt could be a 2 KO on my Sis, so definitely very tough matchup. This is just U-Turn, Bullet Punch, Roost, and I think Sword Stance. Kyurem is a fat Roost variant with Ice Beam, Earth Power, and I think Toxic to catch a potential Primarina. Maybe I got HP Electric, but I'm pretty sure I ran Toxic on this. Bronzong, I don't even know what this. Oh yeah, this was like a Heath-proof Zonga set with like Gyro Ball, Toxic, kinda to function as a Startler, so I never give it free setup. And shoot a +1 Flare Blitz with the Heat-proof ability and shit like that. And Finny here, has like, I think, Hydro Pump, Moonblast, Ice Beam, and Defog or something like that. Some sort of set like this, or Taunt and Nature's Madness and Ice Beam or Hydro Pump. I think I picked the Hydro because it hits Zard and Landorus hard, but whatever. I decided to lead off with my Seismic Thought as it matches up fairly well with everything he could lead with. I don't expect a Delmice lead, and with potential lead rockers like Lycanroc or Landorus, I'm in a very solid spot. He decides to lead with Lycanroc. I take this as an opportunity to go for the knockoff, remove any monster item. If his Focus Sash, I get rid of this and allow Mega Scissor to just OHKO it with the Bullet Punch. And if he wants to switch out in something like Delmice, which seems like a very solid switch in if he predicts the Earthquake, or even the Primarina, which usually takes hits fairly well from the Toad, I get rid of those items. I put Delmice in range of Landorus, which is pretty cool. Landorus Fly without having to click Z-Fly. And I can potentially get the poison off on the Primarina. But yeah, he decides to go into Primarina, which is nice. Seismic Thought is pretty much mostly here for this. It's the only one on my team that can shoot hits from Primarina. And I knock off the Assault, which is good to know, but knockoff does a lot, so he's not like he's not heavily invested in HP. And he reveals that by outspeeding my Toad. Yes, I don't run speed on Toad in this match, but he has to outrun like a 14 point differential in speed, so he's definitely decently invested. I forgot actually Primarina got Energy Ball. Not too comfortable with or not too like used to this mon, but I forgot that he got Energy Ball. He bops me. That is 78, which is pretty annoying because now I'm in range of Zard, I'm in range of Zeraora. If he has close combat or HPIs or Grass Nuts, but I get the Poison Jab off and pretty much, yeah, I put this thing in Torrent range, which I forgot about again. Kind of forget about those abilities, but it does 66 with the Hydro, and I'm like, yeah, fuck, that's annoying. Probably shouldn't have gone hard into Bronzong here, but I don't really need my Bronzong that much in this specific matchup, so I decided, yeah, fuck it. Here I just go for the Gyro Ball in case he wants to set up rocks, but he does not, and just bobs my Bronzong. It packs the Crunch, nice tech. So I'm like, yeah, this has to be like Stone Edge or Cellar Crunch and Stealth Rock, so I can pretty much fully go into my Sis and click U-turn. I live a Fire Fang if he has it. I don't think he has, and he clicks Endeavor, predicting me to go for the Bullet Punch, so that play works out well for me. So I can go into my Landorus and set up my rocks here. And on the next turn I go, knowing that I can live an Endeavor into an Accelerock, I go for the Rock Polish as he yeah, Endeavors me and goes for the Accelerock, I bop it, and now I'm in a very good spot with the rocks up. I'm pretty much guaranteed to keep up rocks because he goes into Lando first. I can like pretty much has to sack it to the Sky Strike. He didn't have to scout because there are drops to it, I think, after rocks and then Q. So now I can go into Delmas, but he can't spin, which is huge because I can just click Fly. Makes a Smart Play, goes for the Synthesis here because that puts him out of range of the Fly, as you see, and he can kill me with the Shadow Claw. But this guarantees me that rocks are up. Rocks are way worse for him than they are for me, so I can't kill this Delmas with the U-turn here. And now I go to my Toad because I just have to make sure that I don't choke this game away with Zeraora and Zard, and Toad prevents Zard from setting up and like can just click Earthquake on the Zeraora. So he goes into Zera and reveals to be alive for Grass and I'm like, yeah, fuck, this could be this could actually sweep my team if he has like T-Bolt, Fire Punch, Close Combat on a mix set with the Orb. He just wins now, but I have to play it thinking that he doesn't have the Fire Punch, and that's because like I need the health on my Kyurem. If I go Kyurem and he bobs me with like a Close Combat or something, or just gets damage off, Charizard can win too easily. So I have to go into my Sis, hoping that he doesn't have the Fire Punch. I know I live for life of T-Bolt and can just U-turn out, so I decide to go for the U-turn here, as he shows that he has T-Bolt. He seems to be solely special because he has probably has the HPIs as well to Bolt Switch. At the 59 with the thing here, I get the terrain up, which is huge for my Kyurem. I can sack my Scissor on the T-Ball and go from there. Tapu Fini comes in. This will drop to the T-Ball pretty easily, but thanks to Life Orb, Zeraora goes down, and I get in my Kyurem in terrain versus the Zard. In this league, you have to Mega Evolve turn 1. I live an Outrage from this range in terrain, even if he's Adamant. He has the Dragon Claw, that's 44, so I'm able to bob this with the Earthbound and win 1-0. Very close one, very fun one, very offensive one. Solid second game of the preseason. Like after the first match, which was kind of long, where I tried to like kind of position myself into a spot where I couldn't, like where I just had the guaranteed Volcarona win or the guaranteed win with Curum. This time I just had to make sure that I don't get swept and have like 1 sec left, or 1 sec enough to like guarantee me to beat his remaining mons. So that worked out fairly well. And now we hop into the third preseason game against my boy Eric. Eric TS. He has a very cool draft. He didn't bring like the superstars for his draft very much. He has a nice Excadrill and a nice Tita on the squad. So gotta be mindful of that in prep. But he decided to not bring it, which I think is a very solid decision, because Sand versus my squad just doesn't do much. He also has a Z Gyarados, which I bring a pretty hype counter for. Talk about that in a second. The Scissor, he has Fizz Death mostly. Pretty much defogs on all of his rockers, which is nice. Bullet Punch, Superpower, Roost, and defog. Superpower to Bob, Excadrill, and Tita, because like obviously you need something for Sword Stance Life of Excadrill or something like that, and Superpower gives me just that. Landorus, he has a Rock Polish Sword Stance set with Z-Fly and Earthquake. Puts in so much work with this team. Like once I weaken the Piloswine, it just wins. Don't even have to set up a Sword Stance, but if I can, why wouldn't I? Greninja's a life upset. Hydro Pump, Dark Pulse, U-Turn, I think, and I don't know, maybe Surf. I think I have Surf and Hydro on this, like just to make sure I hit versus some mons. Finny is a Calm Mind variant with Moonblast, Surf, and I think HP Electric. I might have Taunt on it, not sure. Definitely enough speed to outrun Adam and Gara, and like some Bolt to check anti fairly well and other stuff. Bronzong, just an Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Toxic variant, like pretty solid overall, like nothing special, but yeah, pretty decent for sure. In this matchup, is a nice check to Mega Gardevoir, is a decent check to Raichu, and like can't shoot a hit from Excadrill. Obviously, he has to pack the Shadow Claw to hit this, so I kind of had to bring it. And Beware is my dedicated Gyarados check. He didn't bring it to protect Toxic set with the Drain Punch in return. It's Hard Walls Tita, which is amazing unless you like Modest Fire Blast or something. But a Modest Tita just Bob, because I'm like kind of speed invested. And versus Gyarados, with the Protect, I beat a Z bounce Gyarados 1-1 unless he Z bounces on the switch him, and after that I can just click Protect on the bounce and Toxic get wear it down, get a return damage off, and like keep it at a point of health where it can't do too much, and especially with Toxic I can just whittle it down and like exchange attacks and and like protect and shit like that. So pretty cool spot. I decided to lead off with Gran because unless he leads with Gardevoir or Raichu, Gran almost always gets a kill. Because unless there's like an Assault Vest or Spadef Kecleon, because you can just Dark Pulse into Hydro Pump on the Quillfish, for example. I can Surf on the Entech and Surf on the Piloswine, and like this thing also prevents rocks from Piloswine, which is kind of cool. So I just had a lead off with Gran. He leads Gardevoir. Decent lead for me. I can just U-turn out, knowing that I have speed. I can go into my Bronzong and see takes 36, so he's no HP Gardevoir, max offensive, and this Shadow Ball reveals to be like max special attack, and I think modest. I can just break this up here with the Earthquake, no big deal. I want to preserve this Zonga at a nice amount of health because Raichu is a threat. So I go into my Greninja here on the Shadow Ball, making the hard read. Works out well for me. I can just go for the Surf here. As he saves his Kecleon, goes for the as he saves the Gardevoir, goes into Kecleon, and do 42 with the Surf, and he has the leftover, so he's especially defensive, almost max per death. And goes for knockoff, and knockoff literally does 0, like the first knockoff in history that does no damage to a mon. Beware the God coming in clutch, and I pull the double here, predicting him to switch out into Quillfish, which allows me to get off an Earthquake. I don't have rocks, but I would never go for rocks here, because like I want to defog rocks away from my side anyway. So unless Piloswine goes down, there's no real reason for me to get up rocks early game at least. And I can get 25% off on Piloswine. This shows me that it's max HP Pillar Swine, but no defense. So it's like maybe it's like impish, but doesn't have EV, so it's like just slightly invested. But it looks like max attack, max HP Pillar Swine or something like that. I go into my scissor here, knowing that I shoot any hit easily and can just defog those rocks away. So he goes hard ante. Not a big deal. I have the nice Finny in the back, which deals with it fairly well. So he just takes a Sacred Fire, not over predicting here early. And yeah, this gives me like a free hit, I think. But I think I pull a double switch here. Yeah, I go into my Landorus T because the switch into Raichu or into Qwilfish was so obvious. I decided to like just pull a double and bob the Qwilfish. He doesn't have a switch in anymore, so he's like pretty much forced to sack the Qwilfish there, which is nice for me. Here he goes into Pillar Swine to scare me out, works well. He puts a nice double himself into his ante, and now he puts another sick play, pulling the triple switch into Raichu to get this monster in, and this is nice. But now, like Eric trying to recover from the Qwilfish sack and trying to stun on me, but I'm not letting him stun on me on 3 consecutive turns. So I decided to go for the Moonblast here, knowing that I live a T-Bolt, and knowing that I need some damage off on the Raichu for my Greninja to win. So I'm kind of like allowing him to beat my win con 1 versus 1 here, but like if he goes for the HPIs predicting my Lando this time, I'm like in a super solid spot, pretty much up my my chance of winning tremendously. So he goes for the HPIs trying to predict me again, but I get 45 off with the Moonblast, which is huge. Now I can go into Zong, and on the sheet, the sheet said Z users Eric TS, Gyarados, Mismagius. It didn't say Z Raichu. He has Z Raichu. I didn't know that, but it wasn't on the sheet. But he definitely had enough points to make Raichu Zmon, and I'm thinking like, yeah, cool. I can just like get up Roxy and put pressure on Entei and guarantee to win with Greninja, because even if it's a Southwest Entei after Rocks, it drops to Surf, like 90% of the time or something, depending on roads. But he actually has the Z Crystal in this. I didn't know he had Z, but yeah, not a big deal in the regular season. Bronzong is down, no rocks for me, but I can go into Gran here. Just click Surf as he goes into the thingy here, into Kecleon. I think he doesn't have Fake Out. I'm hoping that at least, and I can just like pop this. And he goes into Entei. I think, oh yeah, this game is over. I already want to type GG, but I was like, yeah, he could potentially. But like I knew he wasn't Element because it's Sacred Fire roll, so I was like, yeah, he can't have E-Speed, so I can just like stay in and bop it. Maybe he wants to scare me out with the shiny Entei and shit like that, but I know you can't be E-Speed because you're definitely not Adamant. So I go for the Surf that should knock out most Entei's, but he is actually Assault Vest, and yeah, bobs him with Stone Edge, which is kind of sad. No sweep here for me, but now I can go for the nice Calm Mind. Gardevoir comes in. He already revealed to be like sub and probably 3 attacks. Other sets don't really make sense, but +1 Moonblast guaranteed bobs it. And because he burned his Z on the Zonga, trying to prevent rocks, he can't burn the Z on Finny and bob it. So Finny instead of Greninja will be able to clean up this game. He goes for the Stone Edge. Even a crit would not have knocked me out, I think, or maybe a crit, but no way a regular edge would have knocked me out, and I can just win this game with my Carmine Finny. And yeah, this is gonna be GG. It is Aki, kind of a revenge for the finals, but obviously I would have rather have the finals win in season 5 than this preseason game. But definitely a very fun one with my boy Eric. Squad performed really well, just as I expected, and I'm like, after 3 preseason matches, I'm really happy with the way the squad performed and with the way I built, and I definitely grew more comfortable with the squad. I already finished my week 1 squad. Week 1 should go up in like a week, maybe 2, depending on when I play Nate. But yeah, we're ready for a regular season, and definitely should be a fun a fun season for sure with the team that I have. I'm really enjoying it a lot. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped. I think my viewers should be hyped for sure. So we try to win the season. Definitely, like I want to win this league pretty bad, and I will do my best for sure. And like we'll see how that goes. But anyway, this is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and a comment if you did, and I catch you in the next video. See ya.